Welcome back to the Rugby League Guru podcast. Going to go through our round 17 team list that have just dropped this afternoon. Obviously a bye week. It's only 4 games of footy on this week. We've got Thursday, Manly Seagulls and the Canberra Raiders. Friday, South Sydney Rabbitohs taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. Saturday, Canterbury versus Sydney Roosters. And then Sunday, the Cronulla Sharks taking on the New Zealand Warriors. Every other team has a bye this week, of course. First game we're going to dive into is the Manly Seagulls versus Canberra Raiders. Interesting here to see what the Canberra Raiders do. Obviously coming off a huge loss. Ricky Stewart, he was not happy. So our team list for the Manly Seagulls: at fullback, replacing Tom Trbojevic, who is playing State of Origin, is Ruben Garrick. On the wings, Jason Saab and Moses Sully. In the centres, Brad Parker and Morgan Harper. At 5'8", Kieran Foran. In the 7, replacing DCE, who's playing for Queensland, obviously, is Dylan Walker. He comes off the bench into the 7 jersey. Up front, Taniela Paseka and Marty Tapau, with Lachlan Croker wearing jersey 9. On the edges, Ola Katua and Carl Lawton, with Sean Kepe still wearing jersey 13, with Jake Trbojevic still out. On the bench, 14, your utility, Cade Cust. Then you got jersey 15, Ben Trbojevic, 16, Kurt Deleuze, and 17, Toa Sipley. Extended bench, guys to watch out for. You got the Goz, Tavita Funa, George Tafua. I don't think you'll see any changes there, to be honest with you. Now for the Canberra Raiders, Xavier Savage. He makes his official NRL debut. He did play a couple of weeks ago, but he wasn't meant to. This is his official debut. Obviously replacing Bailey Simonson, who has been ruled out for a couple of weeks. Valeme on one wing with Jordan Rapana on the other. Jared Croker holds his spot with Sebastian Chris, the other centre. At 6, replacing Jack Wyden, a guy that I think is very underrated. I think he always plays well when he gets into first grade. I've always liked this guy. Doesn't have the huge upside, but Matt Frawley, a guy that can handle himself, with Sam Williams at 7. Up front, Emre Gula and Duna Masui. Obviously, we've got Josh Papali playing State of Origin. Josh Hodgson wears the 9. Corey Harawira-Naira on one edge, with Hudson Young coming into the side, replacing Elliot Whitehead, who's been ruled out for a couple of weeks. Ryan Sutton in jersey 13. On the bench, Tom Starling, Ryan James returns, Sia Soliola and Joey Tapane. Still got Matty Tomoko on the extended bench. I wouldn't be shocked to see him come in. I think he's playing better football than Jared Croker at the moment, so keep an eye on him. Also got Trey Mooney, Brad Schneider and Harry Rushton on the extended bench there for the Canberra Raiders. Friday night sees the South Sydney Rabbitohs taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. For the South Sydney Rabbitohs, at fullback, Blake Taff replacing Latrell Mitchell, playing Origin, of course. On the wings, Alex Johnson and Tane Milne. In the centres, Braden Burns and Campbell Graham. 5'8", Cody Walker. Halfback, Adam Reynolds. Mark Nichols and Thomas Burgess start up front, with Benji Marshall playing hooker. In the second row, Keon Kulamantangi and Jaden Sewer returns. Harm Saleh jumps into the 13 jersey. On the bench, Liam Knight, Jacob Host, Patrick Mago, and Peter Mamazulius. Now, of course, keep in mind, Benji, I'm not sure if he will start at 9 there. You could see a host of changes here. That includes Blake Taff, Benji, and Peter Mamazulis. It could change a heap here. Also on your extended bench, you still got Josh Mansell. Wouldn't be shocked to see him come into this side. Tau Mogo, Jackson Paulo. And the first time I think we've seen him named on an extended bench, it is Davey Moali. This is a guy to keep an eye on. He has got sort of Payne Haas potential. He's that sort of a body. Very young at the moment. Played SG ball last year, but this kid's a real talent, so keep an eye on him. Wouldn't be shocked to see Wayne Bennett maybe slip him in for a debut this week. But I'm sort of expecting some changes there. Really excited for Blake Taff at fullback, though. You all know that I think this kid's going to be a real star, so keep an eye on him. For the North Queensland Cowboys, couple of changes. Arcee is at fullback. On the wings, Kyle Felt returns with Murray Tuolagi. In the centres, Jarvid Bowen and Lume Lu. In the 6, Scotty Drinkwater. 7, Tom Dearden. Front rowers, Cohen Hess and Jordan McLean, Reece Robson at 9. In the second row, Shane Wright and Mitch Dunn, with Jason Taumalolo wearing jersey 13. Jake Granville, 14. Tommy Gilbert, 15. Lachlan Burr, 16. And Lukey in the 17. He's looking like a really talented kid, that one. Peter Holler in the 18. Ben Condon in the 20. I'm not expecting too many changes to that Cowboys side, but keep an eye on that South Sydney team. I wouldn't be surprised to see some changes there, especially surrounding Benji Marshall. Obviously, they could move Cody Walker to fullback and play Blake Tav off the bench. He could miss the side altogether. So just see how that one plays out. Now, for the Canterbury Bulldogs versus the Sydney Roosters, at fullback for Canterbury, Nick Meaney. On the wings, Corey Allen and Katoa. Aaron Scoop and Will Hopewate in the centres. You've got a couple of guys returning from their suspensions here. Kyle Flanagan at 6, Jake Averillo at 7, Jack Hetherington with Luke Thompson in the front row. Sione Katoa starts at 9 this week. In the second row, Corey Riddell and Joe Stimson with Josh Jackson locking the scrum. On the bench, the fellow that debuted last week, Biondi Odo, I think it's pronounced. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't get to see much of him last week. Dylan Napa, Ofahiki Ogden, and Ranuf Attorney. So you still got Lachlan Lewis, Jackson Topane, Manu, and Patalo on the extended bench there for Canterbury. Could see changes there. For the Sydney Roosters, Joey Manu at fullback, Daniel Tupou on one wing, Ikavalu returns on the other side, Josh Morris in the centres with Billy Smith. Great to see Billy Smith play. We're used to seeing Suwali come into this side, but Billy Smith, he's a real talent that has been struck down by injury over the last few years. Sensational to see him back in first grade football where he should be. Drew Hutchinson at 6, Lachlan Lamb not playing 5'8", Sam Walker in the 7. Up front, Takiaho and Jared Rea Hargraves with Sam Verrills in the 9. Isaac Liu and Satili Tupanua in the second row with Victor Radley returning at 13. So Isaac Liu playing on an edge there. We're not used to seeing him there. Lachlan Lamb in jersey 14, Egan Butcher 15, Nat Butcher 16, Ben Thomas in jersey 17. You have still got Adam Kieran in the 18. You've also got Joseph Suwali in the 21. So keep an eye on that Rooster side. I wouldn't be shocked to see a couple of changes there. Obviously, a lot of Origin guys out, but sensational for them to get Victor Radley back. That's a huge in for the Sydney Roosters there. Cronulla Sharks taking on the New Zealand Warriors on Sunday afternoon footy, 4 o'clock. For the Cronulla Sharks, Will Kennedy at fullback, Sione Katoa in the centres with Mulatalo on the other side, Will Chambers and Jesse Ramey in the centres. Connor Tracy jumps into 5'8". It's about time. This guy needs to be closer to the ball. A really exciting move here for the Cronulla Sharks. I really do like it. Sean Johnson in the 7. We've got Aiden Tolman up front with Aaron Woods, Blake Brayley in the 9, Britton Okora, and Tyg Wilton in the second row with Toby Rudolph at 13. On the bench, Braden Trindle, Siva Talakai, Jack Williams, and Hamlin Uele. Their extended bench, Billy Magoulis, Hiroti, Andrew Fafita, Luke Metcalf. 4 really talented guys there. Obviously coming off a loss last week. Could be changes, but interesting to see how that one plays out. I think the big news there is Connor Tracy. We've been saying this for a long time that he needs to get close to the ball. I think this is a guy they should be considering to play in the halves next year, to be honest with you. I think he's been a little bit wasted as much as he's done unreal out in the centres and on the wing, but he's too good to stay out there, I think. For the New Zealand Warriors, big news, Reece Walsh returns at fullback. Sensational to see. I did mention this yesterday when I spoke to Peter O'Sullivan. He said it's more than likely that he will play. I'm not going to say 100% he will play just yet. Keep an eye on late changes here, but it will be Sunday afternoon anyway, so it's going to be hard to make a shift there for you, Supercoach-wise. But Reece Walsh at fullback. On the wings, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck returns out to the Sting with Dallin Matenis-Lesniak on the other side, Marcelo Montoya and Rocco Berry in the centres. Cody Nikorima returns to play 5'8". Sean O'Sullivan holds on to his 7 jersey. Adam Fanua-Blake up front with Matty Lodge playing his first game for the New Zealand Warriors there with Wade Egan in the 9. Eli Katoa has been named this week. Seemed to get injured 4 times last week, but is able to play this week, or has been named at least, with Bailey Sirenen on the other side. Jazz Tavega wears jersey 13. On the bench, Kane Evans, Leeson Armour, Bunty Afoa, Ben Murdoch-Masilla. Obviously still no sign of Tohu Harris. Looks like he will miss a few more weeks here. Their extended bench, Adam Pompey, Jack Murchie, and Edward Cossey. I'm not expecting any changes there for the New Zealand Warriors. I think this will be the side that they go into this with. Obviously for them, I think their biggest worry this week will be Connor Tracy. You don't have much tape of him playing halves. He's more confident than what he ever has been. The more touches this guy gets, the more dangerous he's going to be. That's your team list for round 17. Only 4 games this week, guys, so enjoy your footy. Stay tuned this afternoon. We're going to go through the Telegraph's hottest 100, or the highest paid 100 players in the comp, and give our impression on all of those.